Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today, May 4th, 2026, and the top crypto news stories are as follows. We'll start today's episode by going to Binance, which is stopping support for NFTs within the exchange. Specifically, Binance announced that it's stopping support for NFTs on Binance Exchange and transferring NFT management to its own wallet, Binance Wallet. So NFT holders within the exchange have until July 3rd to withdraw their transferable NFTs from the platform before they become inaccessible. This isn't the first time we've seen an exchange leave the NFT space, a space that we've said isn't doing very well. Continuing, since we're talking about money, let's go to VCs which are leaving crypto. Specifically, the monthly number of business deals in crypto dropped to about 50 in May, a level we hadn't observed since before 2021. As we can see in the chart, recent months have recorded 51 deals, 49, and those are the numbers there. These are numbers we hadn't seen since way before 2021. Even during the bear market in 2023, for example, there were over 100 to 150 deals each month in crypto. All this money, as you understand, is going more toward AI during this period, and I have something very important about this at the end of the episode. Continuing with AI, since I mentioned it, let's go to BAS, where payment activity through AI agents on the BAS network, Coinbase's network, has exceeded 100 million transactions. According to a chain analysis report, wallets interacting with Coinbase's X402 protocol, which helps AI agents interact with the blockchain, generated more than 100 million transactions on BAS within about 9 months of this protocol's launch. These numbers will just keep going up and up. Since we're talking about numbers, let's go to Hyperliquid, which is taking on major exchanges. Specifically, Hyperliquid's share in monthly perpetual trading volume against all major exchanges reached 6.63% in May, the highest point ever recorded, particularly against Binance in market buying. Hyperliquid recorded trading volume of over $62 billion in May alone and $3 billion in open interest at the time of this writing. In the last month, Binance has launched its own stocks and pre-IPO stocks on its platform, copying Hyperliquid, which is doing well in this sector and managed to collect $280 million in the first 5 days in trading volume. Below I have the chart where what we see is that the red candles represent the perpetual volume done by all the major exchanges: Binance, Bybit, Crypto.com, BitGet, and all the major ones generally. This line here is the market share that Hyperliquid has taken in volume against all the major exchanges, which has now reached 7.54%. An amazing number that you understand and absolutely justifies the price rise we saw in Hyperliquid along with the news. From Hyperliquid, let's go to Cardano, for which I should tell you first that its price has reached a 5-year low, with Charles Hoskinson warning of additional failures. From the live stream he did on YouTube, he said he had mentioned at the beginning of the year that we would see many people complaining because the markets are very bad. He also said there would be a wave of failures in the ecosystem. He's not just referring to Cardano's ecosystem, he's referring to the crypto market ecosystem, which, as we've said, as long as the market is in bad shape, more and more protocols will close. But good or bad, this is a natural way for the crypto market to weed out players who aren't doing well. For our last news item of the day, let's go to Trezor, which had a security issue. Specifically, hardware wallet company Trezor and the chip manufacturer revealed a security vulnerability in one of the security elements used by the Trezor Safe 7, saying the flaw doesn't endanger users' funds because the chip alone cannot expose a wallet. We should mention that this entire vulnerability was found by Ledger, which is a competitor in the market to Trezor, although Trezor simply confirmed this vulnerability exists markets and said there's no danger from it. Now, let's go to our beloved crypto market with Bitcoin currently standing at $64,000. But I can tell you that at 5 a.m. when I get up for episodes, its price was at $61,000, and I was simply wondering what to say in the episode. The price obviously recovered above our resistance for now, with liquidations having reached close to 1.8 billion, currently at $1.62 billion. As I promised you, let's look a bit at AI. As you know, in crypto news, we've announced 3 company IPOs, but generally I want to tell you that Bitcoin, from where it was at $74,000, dropped sharply to $61,000. Obviously, the news we mentioned helped, but I want to remind you that in the coming months, there are 3 AI giants that will become public companies. SpaceX valued at $1.83 trillion, Anthropic valued at $665 billion, and OpenAI valued at $852 billion. Total capital raising from public markets was close to $205 billion. And what, my dear audience, is the most liquid asset on the planet that's also considered dangerous by all traditional markets? So a lot of money might be leaving it to go to these companies and their IPOs, and I hope you see throughout the episode why I'm showing Bitcoin. For our last news from the American economy, I'll tell you that tomorrow we have how many jobs America added, which are numbers you know the Fed uses to see where interest rates are going. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, May 4th, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.